How's it going, everyone? We're back today with another video. It's been far too long, I think, since I played a deck with Neo Spacians in it. Of course, you all know my obsession with this engine. Uh, so I've decided to try and shove it into a new list here, which, as you can see, it's like this dark quick draw thing. I've been trying to make one of these like dark plant type decks work for a while, and it sort of evolved into this. So yeah, it's basically like a almost a turbo deck where you just want to like draw a ton of stuff and just find your big boss monsters to blow out the opponent. Like, Dad Samorg, Plasma, and then alternatively you can do, plays with Quickdraw, Drill Warrior, and can do stuff with like the Plague Mally, Synchro stuff. So it's really just a deck that's meant to be played hyper fast and try to get your big guys out and make like a almost a board because you have access to a fair deal of floodgate type monsters as well, and you're just sort of trying to dig and blow out your opponent. I should note that this is not the exact build that you're going to see me playing in these replays. I was playing a significantly worse version, I think. Not dramatically worse, but basically I thought of this sort of variation on the deck because of the interaction between Quick Draw, Drill Warrior, and Cross Porter, because neither one makes Porter miss timing, meaning you can just like use it to plus and search, and you can loop it with Drill Warrior as well. And I was on like a heavier version of that with triple Quick Draw, 2 Porter, and like multiple Samorgs, and it was just a lot brickier. I think Upstart benefits this deck so much because you have all of this draw power, so it just lets you see those combinations of cards so quickly, and lets you go off so fast. So I definitely like this version better. However, the interaction between Quick Draw and Cross Porter is still kind of neat. I think I was also, I don't remember exactly. I had like a bunch of random stuff on my side that I was bringing in those matches, so it's going to be kind of confusing, but I think this version is very, very good, and the replays that I have will still probably showcase the deck pretty well, or at least some of the stuff it can do. I just decided to use them because I thought the matches were really good and really even, very back and forth. He won some, I won some. So yeah, we're just going to jump in and start showing some of this off. But yes, as I've noted, this is probably the list I'm going to be going with going forward, and I think it's better. So moving on. Alright, so now we're into the matches. I ran several of them up against my teammate here, Mr. Maple. He's going to be playing a Blackwing deck, more of a traditional sort of build, not really a hybrid or a Vayu, but with some interesting tech choices. I think he's on like multiple My Body or something. So here, I lose RPS because I'm just bad at RPS, I don't know. He opens not the greatest, but not the worst. You don't like seeing all monsters, but when you have Dad, it doesn't really matter, so I just go for it with Convert Contact, and I draw into more stuff that is kind of bricky. I was definitely having a problem bricking in this match, which is what provoked me to put the upstarts in and sort of slim down on the brick cards. But yeah, we're gonna get oppressioned here, which sucks. It's like the worst thing he could have had for me. He is also main decking Skill Drain, so I guess I forgot to mention that. Yeah, very Floodgate heavy version of Blackwings. Definitely focused on just trying to stun the opponent out. So he's gonna beat in, kill my tokens. I find another Convert Contact. Man, I'm not even drawing bad this game. I just can't out oppression. I'm just digging through my deck and not finding my outs to these floodgates. I think I actually should have won this game, but I made like a pretty crucial mistake next turn. Or at least, I don't know. Let's just give it a look here. So I find D-Draw. I have Decree finally, but then I set this. Now, if he had made a play, if he just like summoned a monster, I think I would have died. I understand he's playing around like Torrential Mirror. Like, maybe it's correct, because you haven't seen either Torrential or Mirror, and it's like the only back row that I play. So it probably is fine for him to play conservatively with these floodgates and all this gas in his hand. But I make a big screw up here putting this on the field, because this is going to put me at like more darks, and I'm not going to be able to get down to 3. Whereas if I just set Granmole, I could have banished the Maui, chained the Decree, and then just dropped Dad and like hit in for a bunch. I don't know how much would it have been. It would have been a lot. If it wasn't enough to win, I might have still lost to him just dropping Dad on me though. Or I guess he would have had 4 darks though, but he could have Blizzard brought one back, right? I don't know. I suppose like a smart play would have been if I had been able to drop Dad, I could have just popped his field, and then like in main 2 popped my own Decree, so then he'd be under both floodgates. I guess that probably would have been the best play, since I don't think I have lethal here. Let's see, if I could have dropped Dad, actually, yeah, maybe it would have had lethal, because baiting the oppression of 1800 is 28 is, what is that? It's 46, and then I can drop Quickdraw too. Yeah, I would have had lethal anyway. Okay, I'm overthinking this, but yeah, a bit of a screw up by me. Maybe you could say he played a little conservatively on that turn, or he could have killed me, but I think he played it right. So here we get end phase Icarus. We just randomly space a back row. We hit the oppression, which is kind of lucky, but then he draws another one. And he has oppression, judgment, and skill drain. My lord. How am I going to play into this, huh? Well, starting with the convert contact, of course, which gets judgmented. So then I brain con, try to go for Black Rose and he oppressions. It's probably the right play. Alright, he finds mirror. Here I'm trying to figure out what the best way to play around mirror is. I don't know. I don't know if I did that. This might have been a wacky play. I just committed too many resources, I think. Like, I wanted to thin my deck with a Maui, I guess, but it was not smart. I don't think it's going to matter this game. Because I'm eventually just going to be able to drop this some more. And the back row is just road. So that's just going to be game, because he's on 200. So I managed to cheese my way out of that one. Here we go to game number 3. My opening hand is not the worst. A little monster heavy, though, and a lot of these hands were a little monster heavy. Because I think we were just playing a good few more monsters than we were in the current build. A good few more, like, brick monsters, too, like double porter and stuff that don't really do anything. I think the Greffer is a lot better. I mean, yeah, just look, we got 4 cards in hand and don't do anything. This sucks. So, yeah, I know he has the My Body here, so I'm just dead. Like, I can't Torrential. I just have nothing. So, yeah, it was definitely a problem I was noticing in these games, which prompted me to switch things up. But we're going to manage to, I think, come back and win this match here, so that'll be exciting. But not this game. I don't know why I did this play. This foolish burial was so dumb. Like, I should have just held it, I think. I should definitely have just held it. I don't know what I was doing. At this point, I'm just like, yeah, whatever. I screwed this up. Like, okay, we open a really good hand here. We've got contact live. Oops. We can draw. Then we find Quickdraw Dandy, and we have Dust Shoot. I mean, this is awesome. This is sweet. So on summon here, I Dust Shoot, thinking he's going to have a Bora to drop and try to do 37, which turned out to be the case. And then I see all his back row, and I'm like, okay, none of this stops drill. He maybe shouldn't have hit over the token, because then he could have Ick attacked, or I at least wouldn't have been able to play around Ick attack. But instead, I'm just going to be able to kill the Sirocco, you see, so I think a slight mistake by him there. And now I go for the Future Fusion. I know he can't stop it. Set the Decree. Future Fusion was also a card that got cut. I just felt like it just didn't quite fit in here. It was kind of awkward. Like, there were situations where it's just really not good. There's only 2 guys. They can really... We have to send either Stratos or Dolphin. And you don't really want to send either, because you want Neo-Spacians in your deck for contact and Porter, and you want Stratos in your deck just because Stratos is good. But here it was fine because we had Drill to bring it back, and we also dropped Dad, so like, and we have Decree up. I mean, we just have everything, so this game's gonna be ours. I do think this deck has a rather high ceiling, so being able to just dig for the important stuff is really important. I think they're playing just even more draw power to subsidize your existing draw power is the best way to kind of solve that, because the games I'm doing well here are the games where I'm just able to resolve my draw cards, right? So I feel like if we're just able to do that, we should win most of the time. This game 3 is really interesting because I open up not great, but I think I'm somehow able to win it. I dropped the Trag. I play around Deep Prison. Was there anything here? Oh, there was Skill Drain here. Okay. It was actually very good of me to not attack, because that would have been devastating. Getting kind of low. Okay, wait, I win because he misplays here, and he forgets to convert the Trag before summoning the Blizzard. Okay, so that's what happened. So I have the Few, go Ab-Zero. Weird that he doesn't skill drain me here. Huh. I guess he couldn't have known I had the other Mally in hand. So maybe he doesn't realize this would have bricked me or whatever. But he bottomlesses the Stardust. Yeah, I think I kind of lucked out this one. He made a couple pretty key mistakes. I should not have been able to win this with the opening that I had. So he does have the Deep Prison. I don't think I can drop this Samorg. Not until Stardust dies. Maybe? Yeah, I don't know. But this is going to be GG because he doesn't have an answer. So that game kind of lucked out. I don't know if I should have won that or not. Then again, I did punt match number 1, so it's only fair that he punts back, obviously. Here we have a pretty good opening, and we finally won RPS, which is nice. We've got the Porter in rotation, so we're going to be able to start resolving that. Here, I don't think I needed to torrential this. I think this game goes really well for me, but then he just kind of drops Dad on me, and that's a problem. So we do the drill play, get the Panther, go the Convert Contact, set Sangan, set Decree. Yeah, here I think I just randomly die because he has the My Body to stop the Torrential, and then he just drops Dad, so yeah, that's rough. If we had Fader in deck, we would have lived there, I guess, but we do not. I open another really good hand, though. As you can see, you're just drawing cards. This is really just how you want to play the deck. I get really aggressive here. I'm against Blackwings. I'm just going to make turn 1 Stardust and set some back row, and then I think I should just win. I have the Storm as well, which I kind of baited him with the Pro Set Heavy, or the Pseudo Pro Set Heavy with another back row. So he has to Judgment there. So now I'm like halfway to killing him. I go Mole. I'm just like, probably a Vayu, so we'll just bounce it back. I decided not to attack with the Stardust, which I would have won if I had attacked with it, but I was playing around Deep Prison, and I still had the Mirror here. So I'm like, I pretty much can't lose if I just wait. And yeah, that's going to be game. So game number 3. I have another really good hand. Actually, I'm drawing a surprisingly okay amount of good hands. It's just, even if the deck doesn't brick often, if you're playing a deck that has just these horrible floor kind of bricks, you're going to randomly lose like a fair percentage of games because of that, and that's just really bad. It's like, so even if you're only bricking like, 20-30% of the time, that's really going to impact your rate of winning matches a lot. So definitely, I'm a fan of playing decks that just are as consistent as possible. I have the Dad here, but he has the Oppression. Man, he just always has Oppression. It's kind of annoying. I really don't like that card, but, what can you do? We play outs to it. I kind of threw this game, too. I should have, dropped my Gores. I shouldn't have set all this back row. Or if I was going to set back row, it should have been just Torrential and nothing else. I don't know. Yeah, because now I can't. If I'd been able to drop Gores here, it would legitimately have been a pretty good situation for me. Because, It's hard to see how he outs this with... I mean, it would have at least bought me a lot of time. And, yeah, it was definitely the better play. Here, I might have been okay here actually still, but then he's able to game me through my defense mode monster, so... unfortunate. So I think this is the final match. I'm going to end up winning this one, making it an even score. I have Dust Shoot. Going second into Blackwing, I was afraid I wouldn't be able to resolve it, but I am. So we both have just really slow, bricky hands. I kind of know his from Dust Shoot. So I just Tribute Summon some Morg here, knowing that I can resolve the Sangan. So I go for Quickdraw? Okay, wait, I'm doing this so I can drop Dad. Okay, this makes sense. And then I can do some Morg. Alright. Yeah, I like this play. Wait, did I normal summon twice this turn? I think I may have normal summoned twice that turn. It probably didn't end up mattering, because just dropping Dad some Morg is what mattered, not the 900 damage, but... yeah, I think I cheated there. Oh, yeah, in main 2 I did... what was I doing? Oh, I popped the Quickdraw so that it wouldn't get run over by Shura if he top decked it, and then he could go Black Rose. That's why I did that. So then here, he's got a handful of spell traps, and I have some Morg on field. Can't set any of them. His only monster doesn't really do anything. It just bounces back because of Grand Mole. And he's just dead. So, yeah, pretty good game one for me. Kind of showing off the sort of win con of the deck, just being able to drop, like, Dad some Morg. I think, ironically, the current version actually drops some Morg a little more. Because even though we only play one, we just deep draw so much more consistently with the 3 Upstart. Upstart's really good in decks where you want to see like specific combinations of cards together. So I think it's definitely well suited to this list. But like I said, the gameplay here is still definitely worth watching. I think these were some pretty cool matches against a top meta deck as well, so, and against a good player. Here we're just kind of screwed here, honestly. He opened up like Whirlwind with multiple back row and Shura and went first, and he's just going to be getting pluses every turn. He draws a Judgment, so I actually might have been able to make a play if he hadn't drawn this Judgment. Like if he had just drawn, I don't know, something else. Because I kind of just go all in next turn, because I'm thinking, like, I'm down bad in this duel. I just need to go for a Hail Mary. So I'm like, I'm going to try to make a Plasma and steal Goyo, which would give me a 3,300 Plasma. But, yeah, so I'm thinking, like, maybe I could just sit on that for a while. But it gets Judgmented. I mean, I was in trouble no matter what. That was just rough. Here, game 3, I'm going first, but I open really bad. Like, yeah. Definitely saw the Quickdraw a bit too often. So here I decree just in case it's, like, Judgment. And I just dig. I still don't find much. So I think he will go... okay, he Storms first so they can commit all his back row. So he has a really good kind of recovery here from the getting decreed. He has, like, now Judgment, Oppression with a Whirlwind up and a Shura colluded hand. So it's going to be tough to come back from this. I dropped some Morg, gets Oppression. So I was trying to force Oppression here in case he had Starlight, because I saw he was playing it earlier, or he showed it to me in one of those games, I think. The one where it was like the dead back row. But then he just has the Judgment. So I'm like, alright, we'll go for the Brain Con. If we can whittle down his life points, he won't be able to Oppression me anymore. So we just do this. He's, of course, going to normal the Collude, get the Gale, attack. I decide to mirror. I'm like, maybe this back row isn't, like, mirror or D-Prison. So if I draw even a little monster, I can potentially go for game if I find, like, a Sangan or something. I think, in hindsight, this mirror was pretty greedy. The chances of me drawing something where I can just summon go for game here is kind of low. Like, we more so need to combo in this deck to get big damage on the board. I maybe shouldn't have... Well, doing this puts him out of range of using Oppression, I guess. So I'm thinking, like, if I do this, I can drop Dad next turn, right? Because we just need Mally and Grave. Then we have 3 darks. Then he finds Sirocco, and I'm like, oh god. These Whirlwind searches are really piling up on me here. I go for the Dad. I just think I have to Hail Mary a Prio, go for it. He's out of my body range, so I don't have to worry about that. It gets bottomless, but now I just have the Mally and I go for game, and the other one's just bottomless, so I'm able to kind of pull this one out, just barely. And that is the end of the matches, so yeah, like I said, this was maybe a slightly suboptimal version, but the gameplay was neat. Kind of showed off what the deck's at least trying to do. I definitely had some games where I got to resolve a bunch of draw cards, drop some boss monsters, and we're playing against, obviously, a good player on a top meta deck. And we went even, so it's not terrible, but I think I could have done better. However, the matches were... I had a lot of fun in these games, and I really wanted to show them off anyway, even though it was not like my finalized draft of the build, if you know what I'm saying. So, yeah, I hope you guys thought they were some entertaining games, and I hope you thought the list was cool. So, that's going to be it for now, though, and peace out. See you guys next time.